Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and today it's time for another Plant of the Week video. And this year we are focusing on herbs. Now we're up at the top of my hill under my peach and cherry trees, and this is an area where I let a lot of things grow. Whatever wants to grow can just grow here. I do weed out the weeds, but it's just a fun experiment to see what grows in the shade in a little bit of water. Now I do hand water this area probably once or twice a week. And every 2 weeks we get water from the sprinklers in my compost pile. And we have a lot of interesting things growing here. But the one that I wanted to focus on is catnip. Now there are two different cat-based plants. Well, there's cat grass, but that's basically just grass. But there's catnip and catmint. And I wanted to talk about the differences both in growing these and what they look like so you can know the difference in them. Now both are medicinal, both are edible. We're not going to go through the medicinal uses of these because I don't cover medicinal uses in my videos. I'm not an expert in that. But let's look at catnip first, and then we'll go show you catmint so you can see the difference. Now I've never planted catnip. It just kind of appeared in my garden. So I take that back. I have grown catnip indoors in pots for my cats. And every once in a while I'll dump the dirt from those pots in my compost piles. Now with catnip, because I know how invasive it can be, I completely removed the plant, but I think there was probably some seeds maybe in that soil. But this right here is catnip. You can see how lobed the leaves are. It's got a very interesting scent that's kind of hard to explain. It's just the scent of catnip. It also has a square stem, so it's part of the mint family. You can always tell what is part of a mint family by their square stems. And it's got these tiny little white flowers. They can grow quite tall. They bring in all of the pollinators, and cats absolutely love them. Now, going over how to grow these is pretty pointless because they will basically grow anywhere and very quickly. The way to control them is to cut off the flowers. Now, I've seen these in very, very dry areas, and I have seen these in wet areas. This area is a little moister than some of the other areas in my yard. And I control it by cutting off the flowers as soon as I see them. Now, whether or not I decide to leave these and allow them to continue growing, because you can see over there in my lemon balm, they're spreading. We'll just see. We'll see if we end up allowing these to continue spreading. I've seen entire yards taken over by catnip, but it's easy to grow, and supposedly you can use it in cooking. Cats love it. I don't know if I would ever want to use it in cooking, but I would love to hear if anybody else has and what you use it for. So let's go look at catmint and see the differences. Now this right here is one of my catmints. This is also very, very easy to grow. This has been in ground on a very, very dry hillside for about 15 years. It's one of the first plants that I planted, and it has just done beautifully. I cut it back to the ground every year, and that's all I do. It gets watered probably once every week to 2 weeks by one hose there. That's the only hose that offers it any water. And it just grows happily. Now bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, all the wildlife love these. This one has not been cut back this year. I usually cut back the ones in the front yard a little bit more because they get a little more water and grow a little bigger. There are small varieties of this. There's Walker's Low, which is a big variety, which is this one that I'm growing right now. And then, like I said, the smaller varieties that stay smaller. Now let's show you the difference between catmint and catnip. So what I'm holding is the catnip. There's the white flowers. You can see the catmint flowers down below. And here's the difference in the leaves. The catmint are a lot smaller, and the catnip are larger and lighter green. Now here's another one of my catmint plants. This one I did cut back almost, I say it was probably about 8 inches tall when I was done with it. And this is its second flush of bloom. And they are absolutely gorgeous landscape plants. And I've heard of people growing them in areas that get no additional irrigation at all. So they're extremely drought tolerant, but they can also tolerate quite a bit of water if you put them in areas where they get more water. Now I'm thinking that if you put it in an area that gets more water, you will probably get a lankier, rangier plant. One other thing I wanted to show you about catmint is if you leave it unpruned, especially over the winter, and it's in anywhere decent, like this is all gravel. This is about 4 inches of gravel, and it's still going. Very little water. But it will actually self-seed quite prolifically. The way to combat that is to prune it back, especially in the winter. Now, these shrubs can be divided really easily. You just dig them up in the late fall or early spring, cut them in pieces, then you've got extra plants that could plant. Or you can allow them to self-seed, or you can purchase seeds. So catmint is very easy to grow and it's easy to reproduce. Now here's another one, and you can kind of see how rangy they can get when you use the larger varieties. It fills in a large area, but the bees are so happy with it. And the color lasts actually from May. Sometimes I've even had them start blooming in April, all the way through until the frost kills them. It will even go through a few frosts and still keep the color, because the blooms freeze the color that they are. And so it looks like it's still blooming, even if the flowers have been killed off. But they're absolutely gorgeous and one of my very favorite plants. Now you can use the flowers and the leaves in cooking. I've never done that. You could probably make teas with them. I've also never done that, but I would love to hear what you do with yours. So that is the difference between catmint and catnip, and I would love to hear which ones you grow and which ones are your favorite. And if you have any edible uses for them, I would love to hear about it. And like I said, they both have medicinal uses, but if you would like to know more about the medicinal uses, there are plenty of experts out there that can give you better information than I can. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. If it has been helpful, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and go have a wonderful garden adventure.